Hey, welcome to Live with Lisa Santiago McNeill and my special guest in the green room, Soy Latte. I can't wait to bring her up. Today's episode, we are going to talk about your friends. What about your friends? Or what about friends? How many of us have them friends? Ones we can depend on. Let's be friends. What's good, Soy?
What's happening, Lisa? What's going on? Happy Hump Day. Happy Hump
Happy
Day.
hump day, baby. I'm telling you, it is a Wednesday that feels like Friday, that feels like a Monday. I feel like I'm exhausted. I tell you, I am tired, but I am energized about this topic because I feel like, hey, Dr. Deborah, because I feel like friends, particularly as women, I almost want to say, particularly as African American women, that there have been some contraindications down through history about women friends. Friends,
Mm, mm,
friends. And so I want to give us a chance to chop it up and talk about different friends, friendships, friend elements, like what's
mm-hmm.
necessary in a friend, and also like different lanes of friends. Like, do you have your ride or die friend, but she don't really come around the business stuff friend, and then you have like, are there different friends? So let's talk about it. What say you about friends?
All right. Wow. How much time we have?
We're gonna be on here for 30 minutes, and
Oh.
if we run over, we run over. Ain't nobody gonna come get us.
Okay. Because when you say that friend word, I mean, it could be like it could be here, it could be here, it could be.
Exactly. That's my point. And I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
there's different depths and elements and characteristics. And I also think different definitions of
Hmm.
the word friend, which is
Well,
which is why we often get into those challenges.
I think that social media, Facebook, namely, have allowed us to use the term loosely, and due to social media, we have probably gathered and gained a lot more friends than we normally would have gathered the traditional way because it gives us the capacity to meet people, online, and then you have these exchanges with them, and you send them memes and all this other thing, and then you build a relationship, and that's where you get into really defining, this whole friendship category. So,
The whole friendship
yeah,
thing, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
because I think that Facebook has watered down uh,
Mm-hmm.
the friend definition. It has
Yeah.
it has watered it
Mm-hmm.
down.
Yeah.
So, do you have a favorite definition of friend?
Well, I don't have one that friends are like family, you know. And I don't know that I have a favorite definition because I think there are different associations with it. And so, no, I don't have a favorite definition, but I think a true friend is like a family member. I think a true
Okay.
friend is a family member.
Well, a family
Yeah.
member that you like. I'm just saying, I have some friends that I think I would classify in a higher regard. If there were hierarchy, let's pretend, for the sake of trying to understand, let's pretend that there are hierarchy in
Okay.
friends and
Okay.
family. Now, there are family that are going to just be invited to the family stuff. You'll see them at the family holidays or whatever like that, but they can't just come to your house unannounced. They can't go in your fridge. They can't that I mean
Mm-hmm.
they're family, but I don't know them like that. Like, I don't know you like that. I love you. You're my family, but I don't know you like that. And then I have friends um that, if something serious was happening in my life, that's who I would need you to call.
Okay.
If
Okay.
obviously not beyond my husband, but let's say, um, say I wasn't married. I have friends that are not related to me that might even have been my emergency contact.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
And so just thinking about friends and what spaces and places they hold in our lives. Tell me, what about your friends?
Well, so Lisa, I have one of my dearest relationships, friendships, is with the person that I have known since I was 11. We have been best friends since age 11.
Wow.
And and I think in what is this, almost over 40 years of friendship, um, we've had one. I think we've had one argument within the past 2 years, and
Wow.
prior to that, we've never had an argument. I think that the two of us are careful to respect each other's space.
Mhm,
We've never really dibbled and dabbled with money,
mhm.
and what I like to say about my best friend is that if I go to her for something, it's that I need it, and she, in turn, makes the same thing to me. But I don't really put a lot of weight on the friendship, where people kind of just use your friendship not as a sacred place. Like, we don't always take care of that relationship. We kind of just dump things on them, have this expectation, and sometimes we don't nurture it. And just like anything else, when you don't nurture it, you don't treat it, you don't take care of it, you're going to
It's gonna
damage
die.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So I think we both have take a lot of pride in having a friendship like that, but we treat it very carefully. And I don't take her for granted or the friendship I have with her for granted.
I think
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
beautiful. I think that's a beautiful
yeah.
sentiment. So those seven characteristics that we had, or the seven people that you need in your life to be successful, they may have been your friend, and maybe someone else. Let me just share with you what we had on the list, so that I could get your feedback on it. So the first one is someone who has your back or your protector.
Okay,
The second one is an encourager.
okay,
The third one is a mentor or a coach or someone that you looked up to. The fourth
okay.
one is your ride or die. The fifth one is your keeping it real friend. Number six would be a respected peer. And
Mm,
number seven on our list, and Brian and I made this list this morning, is a spiritual advisor, or someone that you share a spiritual synergy with.
okay.
Dr. Deborah says you really have to respect each other's space. A friendship is a great responsibility. I definitely agree. It is a great
Mm-hmm.
responsibility. Absolutely, absolutely. So, do you have any thoughts about those seven categories?
In terms of whether they can be the same person or different people, or what's the question?
The value of them, and
The
they can
value.
be the same person or they can be different people. Um, I, I see some of those characteristics in multiple people, but I also see the necessity, hey Brenda, of having those characteristics or those character traits, if you will, in certain designated individuals as well.
Okay, so these values. Let's see, protector, encourager, mentor. I think Lisa. Well, let me just say that you and Brian did a great job. I don't think you missed anything. I think you covered. I think you covered all the areas, all the boundaries, all the categories. Um, except for, what do you think about confidant? Where would that fit in?
I might put confidant in spiritual advisor,
The
but I
spiritual
could
advisor.
definitely see that as being a an additional place. And let me say this, by the we added three more after this. The seven was what we launched the show with, and we
Okay.
added three more. The last three were your financial advisor, a fitness coach, and a lover. And
Okay.
so those three categories is what we added in there. But I actually like confidant as a separate category.
Mm-hmm.
I do. We hadn't thought about that because I do think I would put them in my maybe in the number one category, someone who has my back. Because if I
Mm-hmm.
can trust them, to be my
Yeah.
protector,
Yeah.
I might be able to trust them with my secrets as well. And it might be necessary to trust them with my secrets as
Mm-hmm.
my protector. You don't want your protector to be caught off guard, right? What? You did that? I didn't know nothing about it. But so I definitely could see that. I could definitely see that. Um, and explain in what way that role would be a an important one for you, the confidant.
Wow. I feel that friendship is definitely is a responsibility. Being a friend is a responsibility. One of the most important factors in being a friend is being able to be honest, being able to be vulnerable, and being able to trust the person that you are having this friendship experience with. Because I think that when you let the guards down and you can be your true selves, is where the friendship begins to blossom. You
Yeah,
know, it needs a safe place to grow,
yeah,
and so unless there are people who well, they have other issues where this potential or appears to be a safe place. It's not really a safe place. It just appears to be that because of the needs of someone else. They don't really see it for what it is. But let's just say that we're dealing with people who are very much in touch and aware of where they are mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And you're going into this friendship with eyes wide open, you know.
yeah,
So, and I think with that being said, having that person as a confidant is a valuable it's valuable in a friendship, and I think that where friendships were struggling, somewhere along the lines, trust has been lost most of the time. Hmm.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. You mean prior to the relationship,
During
during the
during the friendship,
Oh wow,
during the friendship, where it goes bad or something happens, and you're in these bad places, I think a lot of times trust
has been lost.
has been lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Wow. That's
perception that
absolutely true.
I can't trust this person, whether, some illusion, some happens, some misunderstanding, but ultimately one person is generally hurt because of a lack of trust.
And that's ultimately trust is
Yeah,
definitely going to impact the friendship.
yeah.
Trust is definitely going to impact the friendship. Um, and I like the way you use the word misunderstanding. There could be some misunderstanding because I honestly would love to believe that no one who I have even loosely engaged in a friendship with deliberately set out to either misrepresent themselves or malappreciate me, to
Mm-hmm.
inappropriately appreciate me. Um, and so those misunderstandings can happen just because people have different backstories. Everybody has a
Mm-hmm.
different history and they may come up differently. Now, Brenda says, I love the friend confidant who allows you to let your slip hang, who allows you to let your slip
Oh,
hang at home, though,
yeah.
right? Because you
Ah.
can't let my slip hang in public.
Mm-hmm.
What you think about that? I love,
Ah.
I don't mind having someone that I can be whatever with, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can't let me be that out in public, like
Yeah. Yeah.
accidentally. I don't mean
Mm-hmm.
intentionally. I'm a grown woman. I can do what I want.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying if you start to see my slip hanging, and either I've had one too many glasses of champagne, or or
Mm-hmm.
otherwise have allowed myself to let my guard down, I do appreciate having the
Mm-hmm.
type of friend to say,
Yeah.
okay, it's time for us to go. We're going to see you guys later. All right. Okay. All right.
That's
Woo.
beautiful. That's beautiful, Brenda. Thank you for sharing that. And another way to look at that, Lisa, I was thinking that um, sometimes we have these circles that we build these friendships in, and then we move out of these areas. We move away, we grow up, we grow apart, but you may still have a relationship with this person. And then, so I say that to say, I have some friends and I love these women, right? They are truly my friend. It has been proven um, through other incidents in life that they got my back and I have theirs. But
Mm-hmm.
yet, we're on two opposite sides of the cloth.
Mm,
What we dibble and dabble in, our principles have remained the same, but a lot of some things around what we do and who we are have somewhat changed in terms of our sense of normalcy. Well,
mm,
not post COVID. No, I'm joking. But just in terms of that, and so let's say, so I'm a non-smoker, right? So I don't smoke, but I may have friends that smoke,
mm-hmm.
or I may have friends that don't drink, and so I say that because sometimes we decide to make decisions about our life that could be totally different than where we were 5 or 10 years ago, but you still have a friendship with this person that's not even a part of the relationship.
Yeah.
And so when she said to let your slip hang, I thought about, we have imperfect people that we love,
Yeah.
and we have family and good friends that don't always speak correct English, don't always dress the par, so that there are imperfect people, and we don't judge them. We still love them and still respect them and have a friendship with them despite our differences. And I think that's hard to do, but people do continue to have those friendships in that way.
Oh, absolutely. I think I definitely agree with that. Now, Dr. Deborah says they may just have to be the protector of your reputation, especially if they know your secrets. I definitely
Mm.
believe that you should be very conscientious of who you share your secrets with. Um, the best person to share a secret with is the Lord.
Right.
He has not been known to share secrets. but but definitely if you have a best friend that if you have a friend that has shared with you her heart's secrets, do honor over those secrets. Do honor over them.
Hmm.
Do respect the fact that you were given a precious gift. I think that
Yeah.
it's a high sense of affection and appreciation to be willing to share your secrets with someone. And don't over don't don't overlook that responsibility that goes along with that.
Mm.
Absolutely, absolutely. So one of the other ones is the encourager. I know how important it is in my life. My husband is a wonderful encourager, and I have a very good friend who is an encourager as well. And I definitely, I cherish that relationship.
Hmm.
The one that is in a position of, you can do it. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. You can handle this. You can, that person is really, really important.
Hmm.
But it's also important when you have an encourager in your life, much like you said before, to reciprocate and make sure that you are mindful. The saying is, who encourages the encourager?
Right.
That oftentimes they may not be the one to raise their hand and say, I need some encouragement, but love your friends the way you want to be loved. I think that that's critically important.
The encourager. The encourager. The encourager.
Do you have a do you have an encourager in your friend spot? Do you have a friend that you would consider an encourager?
So, in all of the categories shared by you and Brian, I have someone in all of them. Thank God. Thank
Thank
God.
God.
Yeah.
That's
And
a
I have,
blessing.
yes, and I have some that overlap
Yes.
in different places. Um, and I often say that we ought to know that we have these people in our place, and you ought to know when to go tap into them. So there are times in your life gonna throw you a curveball, and it's time where you need to encourage your friend, right?
Right.
And so, and if you're with the, in another category, it may feel that you're not getting your needs met because that friend provides a different purpose
Yeah.
in your life. And
Yeah.
so it's good to know that. So I do have an encourager friend, and let me tell you all a story. So I was going through cancer at one time in my life, and to my surprise, I didn't take it how I thought I would take it. You're superwoman, powerful, encourage other people. I thought I would approach it differently, but initially I was very depressed about it, very upset, very mad about it, and I was frustrated with this whole sick illness thing. I have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of things on my plate all the time. And I thought, God, look, I don't have time to be running the chemo and doing this and checking. I got people are waiting to talk to me. I got meetings to handle. I got children to raise. I don't have time for this. What? So it was hard for me to even mentally begin to deal with that. And so on the onset of dealing with it, I was mad. I would cry every day. I cried every day, all day. I was always crying. I was going through it, but crying all the time. And my mother would say, okay, you got a few more minutes and then we're moving on. And she would just and that was her way of encouraging me and moving
Wow.
me along and not letting me stay in this funky place where I was mad all the
Mm-hmm.
time at my situation. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but that is so. If I had not tapped into the encouraging person and tapped into another category, I may not have been encouraged in that way. And
Absolutely.
so I think that's important to know what role our friends play, and as Lisa said, what category
Yeah.
they sit in, because God give us what we need. You just got to know when to
Absolutely.
go get it. When to go
Absolutely.
get it and where to get it.
That actually harkens me back to my thoughts about marriage relationships. I have to be mindful not to try to get from my husband something that he's not and then hold it against him.
Hmm.
It's not his
Yeah,
role.
yeah,
If
yeah.
it's not his role and he's not able to do it, and then I judge him by it, I'm setting myself up
Mhm.
for
Mhm.
for heartbreak, heartache,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
misunderstanding. So I think that that's absolutely true. Knowing where to get what from,
Mhm.
and understanding that as much as it is a responsibility of ours to assemble this team to make sure that we have these types of
Mhm.
people in our lives, and to be some of these types of people to someone else,
Yes. Mhm.
it's equally as important for us to know when we need to go get them.
Mhm.
But I think also, even going back to the one, which was it? The keeping it real friend.
Mhm.
Sometimes everybody need to know who the keeping it real friend is, because sometimes that we will listen to,
Mhm.
because sometimes we get into a place and everybody around us is yes men, or everybody
Mhm.
around us is agreeing with us, and we need to be handled. You
Yes.
need some help in this moment.
Yes.
I need my friends to know who that person is, so they can say, oh, she done lost her. If
Yeah.
where Quisha?
Mhm. Let me call.
She has done lost her ever loving mind.
Mhm.
We need to get somebody to snatch her off the edge or the ledge or whatever, because she's about to mess everything up.
Go get your friend. Go get your friend.
Go
Go
get
get
your
her. Go get her.
Go get your friend. And I don't think I think I hope that I have that position properly established to the fullest degree before I enter into whatever notoriety and queendom that I shall ascend to, because I've seen too many celebrities need a keeping it real person.
Yes, 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 yes.
I'm be like, they don't have a big mama, like they don't have nothing. Somebody, would you? Somebody need to go get them.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that you have one of those on your tab or
Hmm.
in your group there. When we were talking about the respected peer, I think that this is the area, at least for me in the past, that was the most difficult to fulfill, was the respected peer. And that was someone who was in a similar business where we could almost mastermind and share ideas, that we wanted mutual success for one another, and that we were both actively um, growing, educating ourselves, and endeavoring to better ourselves, and still felt strongly enough in this sacred relationship to bring all of that to the table. That is a relationship that is one that I cherish very, very highly, because I have seen them go awry. I've
Mm.
seen them go awry. Um, is there any one of these relationships that you've seen particularly challenging or difficult to fulfill
For me, for
as
me,
as a whole, as an onlooker or personally?
for moi, let's see. Wow, 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 wow. I'm trying to be very, very transparent and very honest, and I'm looking at it, and I think in one way or another, I have been one or some of these to different people.
Amen.
Sometimes the same person, right? I think it depends on the need or the situation, because naturally I am the friend who's going to fight. So I'm the action person, and in my family and in my circle, I'm the person that people call when they want to get something done.
Hmm.
And you know that once she asks her to do it, she got it. She gonna take care of it by hook or crook. She gonna get it done, and
Hmm.
and and I'm gonna guard it with everything in me and try to fulfill it if you assign it to me. And it's kind of the
Hmm.
nature of the work I do, and it's kind of who I am. Now, so if you're not ready to take action, hence, here's the warning. If you're not ready to take action on something and you just want to vent, I'm not the person to vent to. I'm
Yeah.
not that vent friend. So you can't call and start complaining, because if you're talking to me, I'm already, when you start to say, listen, I'm driving down and I got a flat, I'm already Googling where you are. I'm already looking for a
Right.
mechanic. I'm already on it. So if you have a situation that someone's getting the best of you, you're in a bad relationship, a bad marriage, a situation with your job, you complaining, I'm not the friend that's going to keep hearing it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
That's
not. Yeah,
how we
yeah,
are. That
yeah. But
I'm very much the
sometimes,
same way.
sometimes you need that. You know, my daughter went through something recently, and she was telling me that she had confided in another family member, and I'm thinking, like, this family member is not known to be the smartest person to help with situations. I'm like, well, why did you talk to her? And she's like, Mom, sometimes people don't want an answer response. They just want to vent. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. Well, thanks for
Not me.
reminding me of that. But
Yeah.
yeah, so people do sometimes, you just want to kind of get it out, and you need to get it out. And you need to be in the company of someone who's gonna let you get it out. Because
Yeah.
sometimes people learn through hearing themselves talk it out. And
Yeah.
that's how they, learn faster. They hear themselves, they think it through, and then they figured it out.
Take a light
Well,
bulb.
yeah. So yeah, if you need to hear yourself, don't dial my number, because
Right.
I'm ready. I'm like, okay, now what? Now what we gonna do?
Now,
What you
what we
gonna
gonna do it?
write?
When we
Right,
gonna do it? That's it.
exactly. So
But
yeah.
so that's actually another friend then, is the vent friend. We don't
Mm,
have that one on there.
mm.
I
The best
think that
friend.
person is necessary. I think maybe you and I don't have it on our list because I'm not going to do
Cause
a
we
whole
ain't the
lot of
best friend.
venting.
We right.
Right.
We don't
I'm
give
not,
it and we don't receive it. So we're not the ventures, right?
no,
But it's
we're not
necessary.
venters.
Yeah.
I want to
Right.
be the answer person, or not. That's who I am. I'm okay. Here's what we're going to do. This,
Yeah.
and this. That's what's next.
Hmm.
Oh, but wait. No, I didn't want to do, I just needed to get it off my chest. Honey, you,
Yes.
you wanted to get it off your chest.
Hmm. And,
Okay.
and on to mine, right?
No, thank you. I don't want it on my chest either.
Yeah.
So maybe there needs to be that category. I don't think I need it on my side, but yeah.
Hmm.
So I think that this has been great. I think that it's been enlightening.
Hmm.
It's definitely been a great reminder. I have some friends I need to call and appreciate. It has made me think about them. So I want to call and appreciate them for playing their individual role
Hmm.
in my life, and definitely want to encourage the audience. If you want to find a friend, the Bible says to show yourself friendly. And maybe one of these particular character traits is a strength of yours. If it is, utilize it, extend it to someone who may be in need, and
Hmm.
be what you need. I often feel that the best way to fulfill your purpose is to become who you needed.
Hmm.
Become who you needed. I have uh, another appointment that's ringing on my every device I have is ringing in my face. But I'm so glad to have had time to spend with you, Soy. And why don't you tell the people where they can check you out at?
All right, you all. Thanks for tuning in with us. And Lisa, thank you so much for this invitation. I have really appreciated hanging out here with you. I love Lisa. I love her energy. I follow her as well. And if you want to follow me, you can find me at coffeetalkwithsoy.com. Coffeetalkwithsoy.com. I have an empowerment show on Saturdays where we're talking about health and wellness. We're talking about just inspiring us to be better people and to live on purpose. And that's what the theme of that show is. So thank you, Lisa. I appreciate being on the show. And for all of you who are out there, I try and identify who you are and where your friendships are and where they lie. As Lisa said, if you want to have friends, show yourself friendly and show up.
And
Show up
show up.
and show up.
Amen. Amen.
Show up.
Brenda, thank you. She said, I want to add that Lisa is who I call when I'm stuck and need to be pulled forward. Amen. It is an honor and a privilege to be that person. I want to be the person who you can hitch your wagon to when you're trying to move forward. I won't apologize for not being your pity party partner because
Mm-hmm.
that is simply not who I am made out to be. But
Mm-hmm.
I am grateful for all of the opportunities that God has placed in my wake to be there for those that I can call friend. Permission to be amazing has already been granted. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. You guys, we love you. We'll see you next week. Meanwhile, keep walking on water.